Steve Mariucci, my compadre from NFL Game Day Morning, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Mooch?
Good morning, Rich. What a weekend we had, huh?
Yeah, I know. It was quite something. And for the first time ever, Steve, as I'm sure you heard, Championship Sunday, all four teams are 1 through 4 in scoring offenses. Have we finally reached the point of offenses win championships, Steve?
Well, that's, it's trendy because we were talking about just a couple of weeks ago that maybe, defenses still win championships. You got a great Bears defense. You got a great Ravens defense doing some things. And then all of a sudden, where are they? Now it's all about the offenses. And I think that's reflected, Rich, in all these new hirings with the coaches these days. Yeah, Vic Fangio over in Denver is the exception, but teams are saying, hey, we need to have an offensive-minded head coach and be good for our quarterback, to be wide open, score a lot of points, because that's what the trend is right now. And that's where the league's headed with all the rules. So scoring points is in vogue.
What's going through your buddy Andy Reid's head this morning, best you can tell, Steve?
Andy's so solid, and he's so steady, and he's anxious, to play again and host the first championship game in Kansas City, and it's crazy. And he'd love to play those Patriots, and the Patriots are terrific. They had the shootout earlier in the year, 43-40. And so, it's a rematch of that real exciting game where the Patriots took a huge halftime lead, and then Mahomes did his magic in the second half and got back into that thing, and was one of the great games of the season.
Well, what do you think Reid's thinking, though, Steve? I mean, knowing what he's had. He's lost to Belichick in the Super Bowl. He's lost to him in the playoffs with Alex Smith. He lost to them in the regular season with Patrick Mahomes. And he's one win against them finally to get the Ghosts exercised and get to the Super Bowl. Seeing everything that you saw yesterday, what do you think he's thinking?
He's beaten them a couple times now with Alex Smith, remember? Alex is not there anymore, but I think he feels good about his team in this matchup. I know he respects the heck out of Bill Belichick and that team, but he's had some adversity, losing some running backs, and then all of a sudden Damian Williams is having a lot of success in being very productive too. So, and Sammy Watkins, I think they just have. They got a good chance to win this game. It's going to be 12 degrees, Rich. 12 degrees. And you'd think that would be home field advantage for the Chiefs. It certainly looked like it against the Colts, right? A dome team. But the Patriots love cold weather.
I know.
I think they're bringing Mother Nature with them. They travel with Mother Nature sometimes in the playoffs. So I think he likes his chances. It's going to be a doozy. It'll be one for the ages. You got the youngest quarterback against the oldest quarterback. And, boy, I can't wait.
Yeah, it is going to be. And Brady, it was his 40th career start this past weekend when temperatures at kickoff were freezing or below. And now here comes
33-7.
Now here comes 41 for him, and he's 41. And if the temperature matches his uniform number, I mean, we can go on and on here. It doesn't stop with him. It never. He threw for the most passing yards so far in the playoffs, Tom Brady, when he was supposed to no longer have it. What did you see out of this offense that they were able to torch the Chargers on Sunday about, Steve?
And how many times are we going to have a discussion? Is this it for them? Is this it for Brady and Belichick? It's their last chance. And they just keep excelling in the 8th time in a row in the championship game. It's just incredible. I'm in awe of the whole thing with the Patriots. I really am. And, they do what they can do. And when Gronk is not the Gronk that we've come to know and love, they find other ways with James White, and they'll throw it quickly, and they'll throw it short, and they'll complete passes, and then they'll run the ball when they have to, and then they'll sustain drives. They never shoot themselves in the foot, and they just get out early. Their game plan is excellent with Josh McDaniels, and they got a lot of no-name guys on defense, but they just keep playing great defense. They pressure. Phillip Rivers was getting hit, man. Oh, my God. He probably was packed in ice on the way home in an airplane. And so I just think that this organization, we're going to never see a dynasty like this again. And I don't know when it's going to end. It might end Sunday, but it's been as a former coach, I look at it and go, I shake my head. how in the heck do they get this done year after year, game after game like they do?
Steve Mariucci here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you see Doug Peterson after the game welcoming in every single player into the locker room, waiting for every last? Did you ever do that, Steve?
I don't remember doing it quite like that. I went around and tried to hit each guy,
right?
In the locker room, but that was really something. Seeing the video of him waiting for every guy to come in, and he's got that kind of relationship, And I've known Doug for a long time. He was a backup quarterback for us. He backed up Brett Favre when I was coaching there, and he's a good guy, good human being. He's a pro. You know what? He knows how to win with class, and he knows defeat with class. And so that's going to pay them dividends. Don't think the Eagles are going away. They had a heck of a year. They have a heck of a roster. We talked about that, right? Their roster is as good as anybody's. And if they're healthy all year, they probably maybe get home field advantage. They're that good. So it'll be fun to see if they can keep that stuff together. And it also is going to be fun to see what happens with the quarterback situation.
Well, I've got to ask you, Steve, you're not in that locker room, but you see what you see, and you know what you know, and you know Peterson. It's got to be – how can they let Nick Foles walk out of the building? How do they not think that Wentz might have a durability problem and figure out that at this point in time, Wentz's value could not be any higher? And Foles isn't like long in the tooth himself. It is a much better operation when Wentz is not there. It's tough. And that even includes the 11 some odd wins that they had with Wentz when he was playing like the MVP last year, Steve.
Well, we can't forget about Carson. When Carson Wentz is healthy, he's a top 6 quarterback in this league. And so, but you mentioned it early. You've got to have a little bit of concern about his durability and his health. He was hurt a little bit in college too. And so, to me, and I've said this already, I think that they can keep them together. I think that they can pay for this pitching staff. It's a good problem to have. Some teams don't have a quarterback. They have 2. And so to pay Wentz his approximately $8 million, he's on his first contract. And if they have to pay the $20 million for Foles, so be it. They don't know how healthy Carson Wentz is going to be, just like they made the right decision on not trading Foles last year because Wentz wasn't ready with that knee early in the season, remember? So, hey, maybe one more year, you keep them both, and then trade. You could trade either one of those guys for a king's ransom, because in the draft this year, there are no Nick Foles or Carson Wentz, okay? No disrespect to any of the kids coming out, but these are proven guys and big, strong, studly guys that you can count on if Wentz is healthy. I try to keep them both right now.
I don't know if they could do that though, Steve, because it's a mutual option. I mean, Foles has to say yes, I'll take the $20 million from you as opposed to the $60 million by going somewhere else and knowing that I'm going to start weeks 1 through 17 and beyond. I don't know if he's going to agree to do something like that.
No, he may not. He may not, Rich, but he loves it there. They love him. He doesn't seem to be the kind of guy that just starving for more money. He thinks he may think that, hey, I can make $20 million this year and back up or play or not play or whatever, and then get a bigger contract the year after. So, there's a certain comfort level. Rather than going to a team and get your brains beat out, because it's a bad team making a lot of money. He's been to other teams before and it didn't work out. He's been on some bad teams and he almost quit because he just didn't like it anymore. So right now, hey, take $20 million and suck it up for a year and maybe see what happens the year after and get your big contract if that's in the cards. There are other pitching staffs in the National Football League that pay more than $28 million with that. There are other teams that pay more for the quarterbacks.
What's your first blush prediction for the NFC title game? Rams at New Orleans, Steve.
Oh, and then the last time they played, it was a doozy too, 45-35, right? And both quarterbacks were lighting it up. You know what, Rich? one thing. There was no Aqib Talib, if I remember correctly, right? He's working on the NFL Network set with us.
Right, or C.J. Anderson, by the way.
Or C.J. Anderson. Yeah, there's some differences this time. And, I mean, they're going to need Aqib Talib to stop a Michael Thomas now. That guy's really something. And so the Rams become much better on defense with the addition of Aqib Talib. He was on, did you see that? When he was on the set, he was with Taylor, let's see.
Bisciotti, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he predicted these 4 teams in the Final Four.
Well, I mean, Steve, that's no crystal ball. I mean, come on now, right? I mean, it's 1 versus 2, 1 versus 2. Now, a crystal ball would be the Rams beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now, that's a crystal ball.
Is that your pick?
Why do you think I brought it up, Steve?
I know.
Preseason. No mulligans needed. No mulligans needed on game day morning. Mm-mm.
My mulligan on Thanksgiving was Rams and Chiefs. Okay, so there, so that was good mulligan. My first one was awful. It was Atlanta and Jags. Come on.
That's a hell of a breakfast ball you took there on Thanksgiving. I'll tell you that. All right. Yeah. So, are you going to jury duty now, Steve?
So listen. So remember the last time I had jury duty, I am so dedicated to you and your show that I did the show on the phone from the bathroom stall at the Santa Clara Supreme Court down here. I had to sneak out of there, and I was hoping I wouldn't get arrested. You'd have to, pay the bail.
Yeah.
But I did it online, and I got excused for today. But I got to call in again at noon.
Okay, Steve. Well, we're crossing our fingers. Although you're a citizen. If needed to be serving, you'll go if called.
You got to do your civic duty once in a while,
That's
Rich.
right, Steve.
And so I'll show up if they ask me to show up. But and if I have to do a show from the bathroom, I'll do a show from the bathroom.
You'd be the greatest jury foreman ever. Okay, tape your ankles, everybody, guilty or not.
I was a jury foreman once.
What?
It was awesome. I don't want to get into what happened, but the judge was from Stanford. He goes, "All right, Mariucci, you're a Cal guy. You're the foreman." I went, "Oh God!" They go deliberate and look at the film. It was like a coaching meeting. It was unbelievable.
I saw a play on it called 11 Angry Men and Mooch. That's the one I saw.
Yeah, that was it.
Right.
That was it.
All right, Mooch.
So anyway, wish me luck. I got to call in at noon, see if I'm going tomorrow.
All right, good luck, Mooch. Good luck. Thanks for the call. You got it. That's Steve Mariucci. That's Steve Mariucci. We'll be on the air 6 hours on Championship Sunday.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.